Hello. How are ya? How are ya? How are ya? All right. Welcome to another episode of Shoot the Hoot Raw. I'm Chuck Taylor, co-founder and chief go-getter, and the guy who once hovered over a link so long, I started bonding with it. Today, we're talking about a tiny action with massive power. Hovering over links. Yeah, it's not glamorous. It won't win you a trophy, but it might save your organization from a very expensive whoopsie. We've all been there in a rush, multitasking, and then that wild click just appears. But if your mouse hovers just a second longer, that sketchy link wouldn't have stood a chance. So get ready to sharpen your instincts, outsmart those fishers, and learn why hover first, click never until you're sure might be the new golden rule. Let's check out today's flight plan. Hoverboards are completely optional. All right, folks. Seat backs upright, tray table stowed, and a hand on the mouse. Because here's today's flight plan. First up, a 5-minute rant we're calling the link lurking below. We're digging into why hovering isn't just an optional move. It's your digital X-ray vision. If you've ever thought, that email looks kind of legit, this one's for you. Then it's time for the CyberSecurity Nerd Update. New report tricks, smoother syncs, and some cleanup that'll make you say, finally, what took so long? Plus, fewer buds and fewer equals fewer face palms. You're welcome. After that, it's open mic Q&A. Ask anything, hover related, hover adjacent, or just your deepest fears about Carl still using the Internet Explorer. And finally, a hoot-worthy horror story that almost too good, it's almost too big to believe. The Podesta phish. Yes, the one clip that shows a presidential campaign. This is what happens when hovering doesn't happen. So buckle up. This one's got drama for you. It's got teachable moments and probably a few laughs along the way. Let's do this. Let's talk about the real villain of cybersecurity. And no, it's not Carl who keeps forwarding cat memes on the company thread. It's the link, the humble, blue underline, seemingly innocent hyperlink. Here's the thing. Over 90% of phishing attacks begin with a single click. And why? Because attackers know we trust what looks familiar. Nice branding, check. Spelled your name right? Check. The link says Amazon, check. Cool, let's click. Game over. But beneath that pretty packaging could be a shady redirect, a spoof domain, or something so malicious it makes ransomware look like a prank. Attackers are using these shortened links because who doesn't love a little mystery box, right? And they're also using hyperlink text that says one thing and goes somewhere else completely. And lastly, look, they're using lookalike domains like this one here, right? Or secure PayPal.1, secure-paypal.net, right? You spotted those, right? I hope you saw those. You see those O's, that 0, that 1 in there? Very important. This is why hovering is your secret weapon. It's like peeking behind the curtain before clicking, let's go. All right, number 4. Slide 4. What we got here? Okay, here's a secret weapon nobody talks about enough. Hovering. No, not the awkward kind where you're standing behind someone waiting for them to finish their typing, right? We mean hovering your mouse over a link to see where it really goes. Before you click your way into chaos. When you hover over a hyperlink, most email apps, browsers, and chat tools reveal the real URL in a preview at the bottom of the screen. It's kind of like pulling that magic curtain back, right? To see what's going on behind there, the magic trick. And suddenly, that link that looked like it was taking you to Netflix is actually headed to, drum roll, boom, Netflix, that's password-reset.ru. All kinds of things wrong with that, right? Is that sketchy much? A little bit. So hovering helps you. It helps you spot mismatches between the text and the actual link. It helps you catch weird domains hiding behind branding. It helps you avoid becoming the next person on the, oops, I clicked it again, leaderboard. And the best part, it works almost everywhere. Almost everywhere. Outlook, Gmail, Slack, Team, websites. If it's a link, you can hover. I'll tell you about that, what works almost everywhere a little bit later in the session. So hovering, it's free, it's fast, and it's a cybersecurity version of the look both ways before crossing. All right. Let's be honest. Nobody's born knowing to hover. It's not some deep instinct that kicks in adulthood like taxes or lower back pain. It's a habit. And like all the best habits, flossing, refilling the coffee pot, and replying all, and not replying all, excuse me, it takes practice and repetition. That's why at CyberHoot, we build the hover habit everywhere. It's part of new hire onboarding. It's reinforced in our monthly training, and it's backed by real life phishing examples. Like, and bonus points if you can use things like the scammer CEO still wants iTunes cards. Here's the kicker. The FTC reported over 1.3 billion lost to phishing in 2023 alone. And nearly every one of those attacks started with, you guessed it, boom, a click. So let's stop, hoping that our folks are going to just figure it out. Let's teach it, repeat it, and normalize it. Because hovering before clicking should be a second nature thing that we do. It's like checking if there's TP before you're sitting down, right? So, and Carl, no one's opening that secure invoice you sent, right? From the carl@cyberhoot.biz. Nice try, scamming pants. Ain't happening. Now, if you're thinking, well, I'll just hover over on everything from now on. I'm just going to hover everywhere. I've got some bad news. You were given opposable thumbs, not hoverable ones. Now we're addressing that works almost everywhere. Let's talk about the wild west of cybersecurity, mobile devices. Hovering, not on mobile. There's no cursor, no sneak peek, and no, let me just float over this shady link real quick. On your phone, it's tap or don't. Choose wisely. And attackers, oh, they know. They're sliding into your DMs like it's a dating app for disasters. Things like these start coming across. Your package couldn't be delivered. Click here to reschedule. Big one during the holidays, right? Or suspicious activity on your account, tap to verify now. And another one that's just pertinent. I just had jury duty issued out to me the other day. It says, you missed jury duty. A warrant has been issued. It'll make me sweat a little bit, that's for sure. These, not so subtle. They're right in your face. They're trying to trigger you. They're trying to make you react emotionally to the situation. They want you to respond. Just click, click, click. Oh my, look at it. Boom. That's you know you're done. These messages are attached. They're short. They're emotional. They're designed to make you panic tap faster than a toddler on an iPad, right? So, in fact, smishing attacks grew over 700% last year, and they're just getting started. That's why mobile awareness matters, because there's no hover, no guardrails, no second chances, just a split-second decision and a very clickable mistake. So if you're only training employees to spot email phishing, you're leaving their phones and your company wide open. You got to train the pause, teach the double check, and remind your team, if it smells fishy, don't tap it, trash it. Okay. Now that we've built some of our hover superpowers, right? Let's see what the nerds at Hoot Labs have been up to in this week's session of CyberHoot Nerd Update. All right, what do we got this week? So first up, MSPs, rejoice. You can now download customer cybersecurity summary reports with just one click. The audit season just got a little less painful for you guys. We also improved accessibility by making sure language switches in the Hoot Phish challenge actually talk to the browser properly. HTML attributes and all. And listen, hey, it's not flashy, but it matters, right? Live attack phish campaigns, you can now tweak the fields without shutting the whole thing down. That was annoying before, not so much now. If you're testing phish templates, we've scratched the bug that sent the wrong phishing test. That was an annoying little bug I had to work around in a partner troubleshooting call. Thanks for your patience, fellas. Appreciate it. Behind the scenes, we dropped new API endpoints so you can sync and edit users like a boss. And for the troll freaks out there, we see you, Carl. We added mass action tools to update phishing difficulty and language for synced users. One swoop, no manual clicks. Finally, managers now get a crystal clear view of how many open assignments their teams owe. And we cleaned up some filtering bugs while we were at it. So clean, clear, and clicking smarter, just the way you like it. So, all right, that's all for the nerdy magic for today. Now it's your turn. Let's crack open the inbox and see what burning questions you've got for us. But first, email hover10 to shootthehoot@cyber.com and get 10% off your next invoice. Type it in, click send, and get that 10. And if you're not watching live, email us anyway. I may just hook you up. All right. Going on to the Q&A. Hope you guys have some questions for me. If not, I have to make up my own. Don't do that to me again, but we'll do it. It's okay. All right. Welcome to the open mic time. No filter, no judgments, just answers, maybe a few bad jokes like this one. Did you hear about the guy who drank 8 Cokes? He burped 7-Up. I like that one personally. Little dad joke for you. But back to the Q&A. Whether it's about phishing, platform features, or why Carl still prints emails, we're here for it. And if it's a weird topic and it's off topic or anything like that, even better. Let's dive into it. What questions do we have today? All right. How do I reinforce the hover habit in monthly training? So CyberSecurity Phish has you covered here. It has the training baked in with the hover habit. Hover habit. That's a lot to say. Hover habit. Say it 3 times. Anyways, many of our scenarios walk users through realistic phishing attempts with clickable elements that teach them to hover before they act. It's not just theory, it's hands-on habit forming practice. So we got to train that habit, right? What else we got? Number 2. Second question. What if someone clicks a real phish? Does hovering still help after the fact? That click, it's like squeezing out the toothpaste. There's just no putting it back in the tube. Good luck with that. Anyways, it might be too late for that click, but it's never too late to learn. Use our custom hoots to deliver quick, targeted reinforcement. Behavior-based training helps them that moment to become a teachable lesson, not a repeat. All right. Any other questions? Go to another one. One more. All right. Can I start on my own phishing in CyberSecurity or only automated ones available? So I just what we're referring to as we have that 2 sides of the house. We have that automated, powerful side of the house on autopilot. We also have that custom hoot side. So absolutely, with custom hoots, you can assign hoot phish and attack phish simulation directly from our user training library, targeted, relevant, and ready to go. Automated stuff will still go out, but custom hoots gives you that power. And even better, we're actively building the ability for partners to create their own custom templates and use them across their templates, or excuse me, use them across their tenants, templates and tenants. Another one, template tenant. It's a lot to say too. With the option to submit standout phish to our global library for others to learn from. So now, coming very, very soon, hopefully next week, we're going to give you the ability to create your own hoot phish, your own attack phish. And you can also submit them to our library to be included in our global training library. Pretty cool. So cyber is constantly evolving to give partners more tools, more flexibility, more ways to drive real security habits without the hassle. Okay, take a little sip here. Okay, you've hovered, you've learned, and you've laughed. Now it's time to wince a little, because this next part is not a simulation. It's a real tale of what happens when someone skips the hover and hits the horror. Let's roll into this week's Hoot-worthy horror story. And trust me, it's a click you'll wish they hadn't made. Turn this off. Let's hop over to here. All right. Like many things, it all started with an email. Not a bombshell, not a breach alert. Just a boring little one. Security notice from Google. Subject line, someone has your password. Ooh. Now, if that doesn't trigger a little forehead sweat, I don't know what does. Honestly, you receive that in your inbox, you're like, ouch. It made me look twice and go, what's going on? In this scenario, John Podesta, Hillary Clinton's 2016 U.S. presidential campaign chairman. He got that email. It looked legit. It had the Doodle logo, the urgent tone, the click here button. Sorry, my headphones did a little connect again. It had all these classic things that you would expect in an email. He did the right thing, sort of. He forwarded it to IT. If you have a question, forward it. That's smart. Good way to go, John. That's the way to go. And here's where things go sideways faster than a cat at bath time. A staffer tried to help and responded with, "This is a legitimate email. John needs to change his password immediately and ensure that two-factor authentication is turned on in the account." The staffer in his email included the Gmail link to change the password. But Podesta, or someone else, who knows, clicked the shortened bit.ly link, the bit.ly link. They typed in his creds and hit enter. That's how 60,000 emails went from secure to surprise, we're on WikiLeaks. Now, they got phished. Hook, line, and sinker on dry land. Fancy Bear, a Russian cyber gang, got instant access. They didn't just steal some emails. They snatched a political campaign's entire inbox history, and they used it strategically, publicly, and relentlessly. News headlines exploded. The campaign scrambled, internet lost its mind, and all because of one believable email and one user who didn't hover to discover. Let that sink in. The most expensive click here button in history. So some things to keep in mind here. Phishing isn't about tech. It's about trickery. It only takes one email, one user, one click, and in this case, a failure to hover. So next time someone says, "I just spot a fish," remind them, so did John Podesta. Okay? Whew. And that's what happens when a fish makes it to the big leagues, right? A big one. But don't worry, you've got the tools, the team, and now the knowledge to stay off that headline train. So before we flap off into the sunset, let's hit the highlights and lock in what we've learned today. We laughed, we hovered, and we maybe cried a little looking at you, poor Carl, who clicked on that fake Dropbox link the other day. But most importantly, we learned that good habits beat good intentions every time. Hovering is the new look before you leap. Checkbox training is cute until it costs you. And CyberSecurity is here to make smarter security effortless. So here's your challenge for the week. Hover before you click. Teach it, reinforce it, live it. If you haven't tried custom hoots yet, what have you been doing? If you like what you saw, give us a like, drop a comment, or share it with a friend, a teammate, or that one person who still clicks on every link like it's $19.99. Help us spread the good word and the better habits. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time, same channel, probably with some more sarcasm and definitely more ways to outsmart the bad guys. Until then, laugh, learn, and hoot up.